Today we have two Photoshop lessons. First, I need you to open up the image called duck. Then also open up the image. You should have one called sunset done and one called sunset. If you have the one called done, I much prefer you work with that one than just the regular sunset one. So duck and sunset. Let's start with duck. Obviously, this one needs to be rotated. We've already learned that skill. Image rotation, 90 degrees counterclockwise. But that doesn't solve a problem of the photo being crooked. When it was taken, the camera was slightly tilted and it needs to be straightened. To do that, click and hold down the eyedropper tool and choose ruler tool. You draw a ruler on what is supposed to be straight. So I'm going to use this water line where the land and the water meet as my thing to line up. I'm going to click and drag. You don't have to go entirely the way, but this is supposed to be straight and it's not. Then let go and choose straighten layer. Now the image has been straightened. When we did that though, there are some areas we need to crop off. So choose your rectangular marquee tool and draw a box around what you want to keep. If you mess up anything, you can always redraw this box. Shortcut for that is select, deselect, or Control D, and just redraw your box if you need to. And I'm trying to include as much of the original as possible, but crop out the dotted line or the transparent background that it created. Once you're happy with that, image crop, and you are finished, file, save a copy, call it duck copy done, and turn that in as a JPEG on Schoology later today. Next, this is for creating a different shaped picture. This one is obviously a vertical picture. Let's say I wanted it much more horizontal or maybe even a panoramic. There are a couple of things you can do in Photoshop to create this illusion. First, go to your crop tool. Make sure at the top you have ratio. And if there are any numbers up here, delete those numbers. So ratio, blank, and blank. Next, let's drag this outward. I want this to be a much more horizontal picture. I want it like almost panoramic like. So something like that. It's okay if yours is a different color than mine, just as long as this is blank and then this has been drug outward. Up here, I would like to use generative expand. It actually works a lot better than what I'm about to show you, but right now Photoshop has it in a beta version, a test version, and it's not quite ready. So soon this will be much better. Instead, we're going to use content aware fill today, which is okay. Basically, it's going to take and copy what we want to repeat in that blank area. So content aware fill, then click the check mark. It takes a second. And what it's doing is it's expanding that area. Here, it doesn't look as good as we want it to. You can always crop it some more, something like that. Yours might have turned out a little bit different than mine, but the goal is to make this a horizontal or landscape picture versus a vertical picture. You can see where there's some repeating right here. This is repeating down here on these little hills. So it's not perfect, but you get the point. I really am looking forward to when the true generative fill is going to help us make this look a lot better. You don't have to do it on desert landscape. I just wanted to show you that you can really do some creative stuff with this tool. Content aware. This one becomes more of a panoramic picture now. Again, it's not perfect. Some things start to repeat, but hey, it's pretty neat. So that one was just one to experiment with. You can also use some of your own pictures to experiment with if you want to. But for today's grade, we're going to turn in the duck done one, and we're going to turn in sunset done as well. And those are your two grades today for Photoshop.